Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another video for you guys from CartoonUniverse. This one talking about Helluva Boss episode season 8 finale theory. Now, they talk about whether or not Stolas is going to die. So, before we get to the video, I feel like I kind of have to say something. So this video will definitely have more commentary as opposed to some of my previous videos where I don't comment as much. I let the video play and I comment on what I can. Now the reason why I do that, in case you're wondering, is because I've had people in some of my previous videos where I comment on them, they tell me that I comment a bit too much and that you should let the video play a bit. So that's basically what I've been doing for some of my future videos after that, which is just to let the video play and comment only on what I think is necessary. So hopefully I'll be able to find a good balance between commentary and actually letting the video play. Which, first of all, I don't understand why you're watching my video, which is me watching their video, when you can clearly watch the video for yourself. Which, if you want to, I'll leave a link to it in the description box down below. You can go check it out, and I'll also leave a link to their actual channel so you can go subscribe and go support them, since they're the ones who actually made the video. So with that being said, I just wanted to address that real quick. Now, on to the actual topic of the video, the end of Stolas. Now, what do I think of this? Do I think Stolas is going to die? Well, no, mainly because if you keep up with VivziePop's live stream, she just did a recent one with the cast where she confirmed that there will be a season 2, which I don't know if you've heard that news, but yes, there is going to be a season 2, and they also confirmed that Stolas is going to be in season 2, so they kind of told you that. So no, I don't think Stolas is going to die. Now, whether or not he's going to die at the end of the series, that's an interesting question, and I don't know. But let's go ahead and watch the video, since I'm sure a lot of you guys want me to just get to the video and keep these introductions short.
VivziePop has managed to independently...
Oh boy. So, sorry, this contains video footage from the actual music video, and last time I had one, it got claimed, and whenever it gets claimed, it gets blocked. So, well, not always, but sometimes they do get blocked. So I do want to try to be careful here.
produce almost a full season of Helluva.
Okay, let's just be careful. I'm gonna let the video play for a bit.
Which is such an amazing accomplishment, especially considering how high quality the episodes all are.
And okay, let me just pause for a second. By the way, I love Asmodeus' design. By the way, really, really cool.
Only one episode left this season, I thought now would be a good time to talk about what I think is going to happen in episode 8, and perhaps what we should expect for season 2 and beyond.
Okay, just pause for a second. Oh, okay, we should be fine.
My name is Deepcut, welcome back to Cartoon Universe, and hit that subscribe button before it hits you.
So you guys heard it right there, guys. As I said, I will leave a link to their channel in the description box down below, so go support them and go watch the actual video to actually just to help them out with the algorithm, because we all definitely need it, because YouTube definitely isn't interested in helping us.
Now, just to reiterate and to clarify, season 2 of Helluva Boss is definitely happening.
Yes.
And is already well on its way.
Sorry, just again gotta pause. We should be okay now.
Into production. VivziePop and the Helluva Boss cast.
This is the live stream I was talking about.
Did another live stream signing with Streamily recently, and during the live stream we got all sorts of teases for what is to come in the definitely confirmed second season of the show, including fan favorite Sally Mae returning with even more lines, as well as the voice actor, Morgana Ignis, being confirmed for other roles in the season on top of that. While a lot of people think this means that we will be returning to the Wrath Ring, I hope that is not the case. When we do return to the Wrath Ring, I don't want it to be Millie's family farm again, and would much rather see what part of Wrath Ring Moxie comes from, as he is from there too, even if he is not from this country farm wasteland.
So this I actually do agree with. I really hope that if we are going to go back to the Wrath Ring, that we actually get to see more of it, instead of just going back to the same location over and over and over again. We do see that in some of the other some of the other shows that I've watched, at least, where they tend to go back to the same location, and you're always left wondering, okay, well, is there nothing else to this place? Like, there are no other places to go visit. And I actually would, I do hope that in season 2 we get to see more of Moxie's backstory. Like, that's his character was focused on in this season. We had episode 1 and then in episode 6. Even in this episode, I think this was episode 5, but I hope that we actually get more of his backstory and we get to see where he came from, which I
Instead, I would love to see an episode where Sally Mae comes to visit Millie in Imp City. Considering that the main characters actually live in Imp City, it's kind of surprising that we don't know more about it, and having Sally Mae come to the city to visit for an episode would be the perfect way for us to get a chance to actually explore it and see what its culture is like. Now, as a lot of you know, TV shows can have very different structures when it comes to how their seasons work. In some cartoons, like Blood of Zeus, they have a seasonal structure. The characters grow and develop over the course of the show, but the major plot points are wrapped up in each season finale. Those finales tend to deal with...
By the way, if you haven't seen Blood of Zeus, I actually do recommend it. It's made by the same studio that made Castlevania. I think it was Powerhouse Animation, if I remember correctly. This was really, really good. And I think they did kind of hint at a season 2 at the end, and I think it was confirmed, so definitely looking forward to it.
And the show could reasonably end there, but then the next season introduces the characters to a new conflict, and the show starts all over again, while the characters still have the growth and development from the previous seasons. Then there are shows more like StevenUniverse, where the story is meant to be one long, overarching story. Each season builds into that bigger story, and while the finales are climactic, they tend to not give very much closure, and instead build into that bigger story even more, setting up subplots to be explored in the following season. When it comes to Helluva Boss, I assumed it was using the former formula due to it being independently produced. This season introduced...
Yeah, I think a lot of us did kind of expect Helluva Boss to be a bit more of an episodic show, but now with the more recent episodes, you know, since episode, I think it was 5? Yeah, since season 5 onward, we realized that there's actually one long overarching story, and now a lot of us just want to see where it goes.
Us to a lot of cool characters, and thanks to the trailer, we knew that a lot of these characters would be returning.
Okay, again, I really got to be careful here.
Near the end of the season, seemingly all at the same time. When it came to episode 7 and 8.
Yeah. By the way, again, I can't stress this enough. I love how this was done.
I assume that Stolas would be
absolutely beautiful. How all their eyes just glow in the dark. Just awesome.
Going off to the Lust Ring alone to get his mind off of Stella and Octavia leaving him, and with Stryker being hired to his...
I don't know if get his mind off Octavia and Stella leaving him. Now, when it comes to Octavia, I think I agree with that. He would be upset if Octavia was leaving him. But when it comes to Stella, I don't think he really cares about her, if I'm being honest. And also, I don't think Octavia necessarily left him. He did say that she's with her mother for the weekend. So I think it's a situation where they're like officially split, and they have shared custody, where she maybe spends time with her mother on the weekends, and then throughout the rest of the week she's with her dad. But I guess that still wouldn't stop him from feeling kind of alone.
Assassinate him, I thought Blitz would be running off to the Lust Ring in an attempt to protect Stolas. It would be there that Veraska, Fizzaroli, and Stryker would all be as well, leading to a huge conflict.
Again, just gotta...
and perhaps even several battles. Of course, that didn't happen in episode 7, though something extremely similar could still happen in episode 8. If Vivziepop is intending to wrap up the major conflict of this season, it would almost definitely need to include Stryker. While I don't think there are any shots left from the trailer alluding to where episode 8 takes place.
So this is interesting. Now, I don't know if I'm being honest, I don't know if Stryker's gonna appear. No, hold on, I know what happened there. So I don't know if Stryker is going to appear in episode 8. I think maybe they're probably going to save him for... What is it? I think they're going to save him for season 2, although I could be wrong. But based on how episode 7 went and how it ended, I think that it's possible they're going to just use episode 8 to wrap up whatever story or whatever conflict that's going on between Blitz and Stolas. And because I do remember... I think it was Bryce who voices Stolas said in the live stream that they did that one of the things that he's kind of looking forward to fans experiencing was the evolution of Blitz and Stolas' relationship and where it goes. And I think that they're probably going to save Stryker for that. I think that episode 8 is probably going to just resolve whatever conflict is going on now, and season 2 will be sort of seeing us experience where the relationship goes with them. At least that's what I think is going to happen. I could be completely wrong here. So yeah,
Stolas is now home alone.
I mean, I would imagine since Norman Reedus is like probably not cheap, to get him. So it's possible that they're probably going to just have his character be there in episode 8 and resolve whatever, so that they don't have to keep paying him for his future appearances. Because I can't imagine it would, like I said, it would be cheap to hire him
In his mansion, and I could easily see Stryker going there to assassinate him. And perhaps Stolas would have to hire the IMP gang to be his full-time bodyguards until the issue is resolved. In a previous video, I suggested that to really screw over Stolas, Stella may invoke some sort of demonic prophecy for the end of the world, one that only Stolas would be able to stop. In episode 2, where he sings,
oh boy, yeah, I did get claimed for this one, so I gotta be careful.
"You will be okay," the entire song and accompanying visuals
Love this song. Still my favorite song, by the way, of the entire season.
seem to be foreshadowing an upcoming apocalypse. The way he sings about Octavia still being okay through it all seems to suggest to me that the
Okay, gotta pause here for just a second, and we should be okay.
end of Stolas' character will be him sacrificing himself to prevent such an apocalypse, ensuring the world continues all.
Again, just absolutely beautiful. Also, and we should be okay.
Also that his daughter can continue to be okay, forsaking his own destiny as a demonic prince because of the love he has for his daughter. I also theorized that in doing this,
Okay, we
Stolas
should
would
be
give his
okay.
grimoire to Blitz, allowing him to continue his business without having to serve Stolas sexually, a symbolic apology for taking advantage of him, finally earning the love of Blitz and closing his arc as he learns to not put his own interests ahead of the people he loves, both his daughter and Blitz. After episode 7 and Vivzy pops a recent confirmation that Stolas is canon, I don't think this is the case, however. Instead, I think the Helluva boss will be using the other structure we discussed, where season finales are climactic but are used to set up the next season of the show and the new dynamic that will be explored. So what would that finale look like? Well, Stolas definitely would not die.
No.
While I do think he is going to die within the show eventually, it would mean that such a death would be reserved for the series finale instead of just a season finale. Well, there is a lot of ways that.
So when it comes to that, like I said at the beginning of the video, I still don't know if Stolas is going to die. But if he does, I am very, very curious to see how people are going to react. And if they are going to kill him off, I really hope they do it well. Because again, character deaths are hard to pull off correctly in stories. Because a lot of the times the character deaths are just not handled well, and it just either it feels anticlimactic or it doesn't feel earned. And if they are going to kill him off, I really hope they do it correctly.
That could go. I think the most obvious thing that is going to happen is Blitz and Stolas begin to actually date each other in some capacity. While the creative geniuses behind the show can throw 1,000 amazing curveballs at us for episode 8, episode 7 made it clear that the emotional backbone of the season is now Blitz and Stolas' evolving feelings for one another. Personally, my hope is that Stryker will return in this finale and be the final boss of the season. While I know some people want to see us go to another ring and meet yet another prince, I don't imagine we will be doing that after such an amazing appearance of Osmodius. Like I said before, I think the whole thing could just take place in Stolas' mansion, which I hope would come with a confirmation of what ring he is in. The sky looks dark red at night, similar to the Pride ring, but in the morning it looks pink, which we know to be the Sloth ring, though we can't really say with 100% certainty that it is one ring or another, and an episode taking place there would be the perfect time for a confirmation. Like I said before, Stryker could come on in guns a-blazing, with Blitz, Millie, and Moxie being Stolas' hired guards. It is here I think Blitz would be tempted by Stryker again to turn on Stolas, to take the grimoire for himself, and to show the overlords that the imps are not to be messed with. And perhaps Stolas seeing this change in Blitz will make him realize just how horribly he treated Blitz. While Stolas clearly has feelings for Blitz, and Blitz is certainly taking a liking to Stolas if episode 6 was any indication, he clearly hates the way that Stolas sexualizes him and has trouble believing that there are legitimate feelings behind that lust. It is here that I think Stolas and Blitz will create a new arrangement, or rather an anti-arrangement, one that allows Blitz.
So before we continue, I just have one question, and Doesn't really have to do with the video, but just something that I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this. But when it comes to what happened here and what happened that night, I've seen some people say that Blitz was the one in the wrong and Stolas was the one in the wrong, and so on and so forth. That Blitz was wrong for using him. That Stolas is also in the wrong because he sort of, like, the way he acted put those thoughts in Blitz's head. Although the way he talked here, I feel like would have probably told Blitz that what he thought about Stolas was wrong, and that it's Blitz because of his insecurities. He's just convinced himself that Stolas is pretending that what they have is more than what it actually is. So I guess I'm curious to just ask you guys, who do you think, like, what do you think is happening here? Do you think that it was Blitz in the wrong? Do you think Stolas was in the wrong? Because I think I forgot to ask this question when I did my actual episode reaction to this. So just wanted to throw the question to you guys. Who do you think was in the right here? Who do you think was in the wrong? Or do you think they both screwed up? In my opinion, I think there's blame to go both ways. I think that Stolas definitely didn't do himself any favors by, you know, having this deal between them where they meet every now and then and it's just sex. And I think Blitz, he definitely wasn't right to, use Stolas just to get what he wants. But I can understand why he would think that there's nothing wrong with that, because he has it in his mind that Stolas is doing the same thing. But at the same time, I still don't think it excuses what he did, if I'm being honest. So I think that there's blame to go both ways, and I also think that it's Blitz, whatever insecurities he has. I think that even when Stolas is making it clear that he's trying to do something more than just, or trying to have something more than just like a sexual relationship with him, he's convinced himself that that's not the case, and that, like, nobody actually wants him for that, as opposed to just something else, that anyone who gets involved with him just wants him for something. And when someone comes along who tries to be genuine, he he just pushes them away because he doesn't believe it's real. At least that's what I think. But like I said, I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. What do you guys think?
It's to use the grimoire for his business, and of course return it to
Also,
Stolas
love the
for the
little
full moon
horse.
ceremonies, but instead of a night of carnal lovemaking, they have a date, one where they get to know each other and where sex isn't a guarantee. I imagine the promise for a date will be very light-hearted, one that doesn't actually require a date, but that is instead meant to show that both men are interested in forging a relationship, and if the date just doesn't happen, that isn't the end of the world. And perhaps they won't even have a date. Perhaps the episode will end with Stolas realizing how wrong he is and simply giving Blitz the book with the promise.
So I talked about this in the episode where I reacted to it, but I still think it was a mistake to leave these two alive. I I, I still don't know why they did this. I mean, I get what Stolas said, that people on Earth don't really believe people who say that they've seen demons and so on and so forth. And even if you show them footage, they'll say, "Oh, this was just photoshopped or whatever," or "No, not photoshopped. You just used After Effects or something." Just whatever programs out there that you use to just make that in a computer. I still think that it was a mistake, because remember what Stolas said, that like, they have to be careful, because if they get found out by Hell, then it will eventually bite him in the ass. So I do wonder if by leaving them alive, it's going to cause them to try to, convince people that there's demons and so on and so forth, and somehow that'll make its way back to Hell, and they'll find out about what happened, and then that's going to cause trouble for Stolas. All right, so let's go back to where we were. Just let me know again something else. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this.
Realizing how wrong he is, and simply giving Blitz the book with the promise that they don't have to see each other at all, and that Stolas is letting Blitz go. And at the very end of that exchange, after moments of doubt, and realizing that Stolas is growing and changing, that is when Blitz will see that Stolas does have some feelings for him, and asks Stolas out on a date himself. And from there, who knows where it will go. Season 2 could be an arc where Blitz and Stolas try to figure out this new dynamic, as neither will likely know how to navigate their relationship now that there aren't requirements for how often they interact or what they do. We could have really cool date episodes where they have a blast, and really funny awkward ones where they fumble and don't really know how to treat each other in this context. In addition to this, of course, the show will continue to explore the Seven Rings, introduce us to more princes, and show the gang going up to Earth to kill off some humans. But for my thoughts on that, you're going to want to hit the subscribe button, as after episode 8 comes out, I'll be doing a dedicated video for what my season 2 theories are. Let me know what you guys think will happen in episode 8 and beyond in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys.
Okay, so I think that's the video. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so whew. Now, this is, like I said, this is a very, very interesting question to ask. Now, I've already made my thoughts clear on Stolas. I think they did make it obvious that Stolas is not going to die at the end of season 8, because, like I said, they did confirm that season 2 is on its way and that Stolas is going to be a part of season 2. So no, he's not going to die at the end of season 1. So the question that I have is, when it comes to Stryker, now I told you that I don't think Stryker is going to make an appearance in episode 8. I could be wrong about that, but the way I see episode 8 happening is they're going to, like I said, try to resolve whatever conflict there is now between Blitz and Stolas, and we're going to see the continuation of that in season 2, and where their relationship, I guess you could say, is now that they've sort of resolved that whole, like, I only want you for sex thing, or in Blitz's case, I don't believe that you only see me as a sex object, even though you didn't do yourself a lot of favors by kind of making that clear. So yeah, I just want, you know what, like they did, I'm gonna throw the question to you guys. What do you think is going to happen? And as always, guys, I'm gonna leave a link to their channel in the description box down below, and also please go. Also a link to the actual video, so you can go watch the actual video, help them out with the algorithm, leave a like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever you can to help them out with the algorithm. Don't just watch my video watching their video, go watch the actual video. This video is just meant for me to give my comments, my thoughts on the actual video in and of itself. Same thing with all of my reactions. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you'll continue to support me in the future by hitting that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.